Okay, well, welcome to the Fifth Dimensional Academy of Higher Consciousness. Today is May 31st, and I'm broadcasting from Los Angeles, California. What we're going to do is we're going to do a simple meditation, and what I would like, because this meditation we're going to be doing is very much related to a couple of questions that I've been asked. So, and then I'll get into the questions, and we'll talk about everything. But what I would like to do is that the meditation we're going to do is going to be without any objective, without trying to actually meditate. So, because when meditation can become like an object. It's like we're trying to achieve or to get to a place. And that trying to get to a place will take away from the actual meditation. So what if we don't really try to get to anywhere, and we're not really trying to even quiet our minds? We're not trying to do anything. We're simply here, and in this state, in this place of being here, you clearly hear your thoughts, and you clearly can feel whatever is going on in your body, your emotions, and you have an awareness of the sounds from the outside, whatever sound you hear. So, but you're detached to any of these things. So while you are not trying to accomplish anything and get anywhere, in the meantime, you're pure witness. You're here, and you're just in this place of allowance and witnessing of whatever is happening without really getting involved with it. So let's see if you can try that. Try it for a moment, and you can close your eyes and relax into this moment. And you're just simply hanging out in this moment right now. You're just simply here. You're in your natural state of being. You have your eyes closed, but you're not trying anything. Don't do any kind of mantras or visualization, any kind of technique. Just this time, you're simply in a state of presence. You're present here, available to whatever is happening. You're not trying to get anywhere or do anything or accomplish anything. And from this place, that your pure presence and your a witness, you just see where you're gonna go, see what is happening. You will experience a shift. Just be available to it. But drop your efforts. Even a thought comes and says, okay, I need to drop my efforts, ignore that as well. You're simply here, without any agendas, without a search. There is no mission. There is no purpose. Simply being here. Slowly, slowly come back. Slowly, slowly. You can see that in a very simple way, without any manipulation, when you disengage yourself from the objects, you come back to your natural state. Now, when I say disengage yourself from the objects, is that you're not doing a mantra, you're not repeating a word, you're not doing visualization. That visualizing, whether you're visualizing a white light or that's still an object. And we do those meditations, but I'm just trying to show you a different aspect of meditation. Or if you're not doing any breathing technique, your attention is not on even your breath, because you're still trying to do something. But when you go deeper within, that you're simply settling down in the presence of yourself, which is already here, and it doesn't have any requirements. You don't have to do anything for it. It's beyond simplicity. It's very, very simple, because the presence, the real you in the back, is here. It's like this background here. It's there. You don't have to do anything for it. It's already there. It's already here. So, and once you disengage from the objects, you fall back into the presence. And it's when you start to understand this, you realize how simple it is and how powerful and effective it is to simply being yourself, not being anything. Now, I want to answer some of the questions we have here. Oops. I'm going to start with, okay, so Hilde Evenstad, will you talk a little about the observer? I know I am the observer in Hilde's body. Where does the observer start and ends, and where does the meat starts within? Meat, what do you mean? What do you mean by the meat, Hilde? You mean the body?
That is very good explanation, isn't it? You know, I know that I am the observer, of course, but where does the observer start and end, and where does Hilde's body start and end then? Hilde's meat, so to speak. You know?
The observer doesn't start anywhere. There is no starting or ending to the observer. You, the witness, the being, the seer, the one which is simply seeing. the being is here, and you're seeing your body, you're seeing your eyes, you're seeing the physical body when you look in the mirror, or you have the senses to touch it. So you can touch your body so that's one way of connecting with it. And in the same time, you are capable of witnessing and observing your thoughts. So you come to me and you tell me that I am witnessing my mind. And then a question comes, this question you just asked, that where does the witness come from? Where does it start and where does it end? Correct? And that question is an object. It's an object happening. It's flying into the mind. It's an object traveling, and the witness, which is here, sees this question. It's another question. But which is a very valid question. I'm glad you asked this, because I like this, because this is going to open up we're continuing on what we were talking about last week. But who is seeing this? Who is noticing these thoughts? To whom these thoughts appearing? Shishi, can you stop? Thanks. To whom do these thoughts begin to appear? You know, they rise and they fall, and they rise and they fall. The mind rises and the mind disappears. And then emotion starts to pass through you. So, but who is noticing it? To whom do they come and go? There is a witness, a seer. There is a presence. There is the sense of I am that notices the thoughts, notices the emotions, notices the body. So this sense that I'm talking about, let's say that it's you, but you're behind. You're behind and you're not really involved with any of it, because you have to be behind. You have to be kind of out of it, outside of it, in order to be able to observe it. So what happens is that you identify with it. And it's an old habit. It's a conditioning that we've been conditioned to identify with the thoughts or emotions. Let's say there's a situation that something is upsetting you. Let's say your partner does something that pisses you off, or something's happening with your bills. You have to pay some bills and something goes wrong, and there's a moment of frustration. You say, I'm done with this. I had it. I'm just finished with this thing. There's an explosion. There's an expression of a moment of frustration is happening, which is okay. But it doesn't mean anything. It just means that something had to let the steam go. But the witness remains the witness. If you get this, if you understand what I'm talking about, then the witness is witnessing a momentary frustration of being expressed. Now, that's one way, or there is complete identification with the frustration. It's an old habit that you really believe it's you, and it's you who's really frustrated and had it with life, and you can't cope with this any longer, or you can't deal with your partner anymore, and you hate it, and you're blaming your partner, or you're feeling stuck, you're in this relationship, and it's really feeling real, and you're taking it very personal. Now you're very identified with it. There's two different scenarios. One is that you're in this place of pure witnessing, that you witness your frustration, it bubbles up, it expresses itself, and your body, your mind, your senses are a part of it, but you have not forgotten that you're in behind, you're back here, and you're just seeing the character named Hilde is expressing her frustration. You're still the witness. And you haven't forgotten the witness. You're completely unidentified to what surface. That's a small percentage of awakened beings that recognize this. They have this understanding. The rest of the planet doesn't know it's in the behind. The list of people on the planet, they really believe this is who they are and this is what's happening to them. And therefore, they suffer, and they're very identified to what is going on in their lives. It's very personal. It's very real for them. And there is no idea and no understanding that they're just merely witnessing. They have no awareness of it. And they're completely lost in the Leela. They're completely identified with the world. The witness, the real you, is aware of the senses. There's an awareness of the senses. But it's not the senses. It's simply witnessing and aware of the senses. It's completely in its state of purity, and it's completely detached and free from any kind of identification. Therefore, you can't suffer. Suffering does not exist in your life anymore. There's momentarily expressions of ups and downs and frustration, but there is no suffering. You have freed yourself from suffering permanently. And for that, of course, we need the right training. We need to be pointed out into that direction. And it requires a level of attentiveness. It requires a level of being really authentic with yourself and being really honest with yourself, wanting to be attentive to this and not fall into the old habits and not go into the denial. Not that it's easy to go into this denial. That's why this work requires a level of, it does require commitment, you know, that you're really committed into freedom and you really want to be free. Because it's very easy for the mind and the program to pull you into the world of objects, and you identify with the illusion. It can easily be swayed away into it if you don't stay alert. But if you stay alert, and the more you stay alert, the more you get established into who you are, who is really in the back. It's back here. It's not in here. It's back here. Is this making any sense? Anybody has any questions? Okay, I unmuted you.
Yeah, thank you. I understand it.
Does this, Hilda, make sense?
Yeah, really, thank you. I'm back on track.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The witness has no beginning, no end. The presence, which you are, it's never started it or never ended. It's always here. It's just our perception that your being and your presence is connected to time space, means that you have duration, that you were born and you're going to die. So because you're identified to this object, and the object is your body and your life, and you think that your life is only going to be this in this period, between this point to this point. But until you start to realize that you're not this object, and if you're not this object, then you have been here and you are here all the time. And of course, you have no way of knowing that at this moment. You have no way of knowing that, okay, when the object, the body dies, what will happen to you then? And that's also future. But you can, while you have a body and the body's warm and is here, you have an opportunity to examine this, your being, your presence, the witness, which is in the back, and you can connect, you can recognize that. And then, of course, you're going to see what happens after the body dies. Well, while you do have a body and you're here, you do have the opportunity to realize and recognize that. But keep in mind, I mean, this particular teaching, it's not very attractive. It's very few people are they get attracted to this teaching, because it's not giving you anything to hang on to. It's not giving you something to manifest, or to create a new reality, or to make a change. You know, it's, in so many ways, it's very boring. Okay, so not so the majority, they don't come after it because it's not giving you toys to play with. It's for mature, seasoned spiritual seeker, which has been seasoned and is waiting for its last steps of awakening. Then your ears start to hear, your eyes are open, and you're sensing freedom, because it's telling you that this person that you think you are is not even real. Because this person you think you are is the object, and it has senses. Sorry, there's noise back. Yeah. Because you're not the senses. Senses are objects.
Yeah.
You're not your thoughts, your mind. You're not your body. You're not the senses. They're all objects. You're that which is aware of them, but is not them. So this is very brand new in so many ways, because very little people talk about this. And if you're not 100% ready for it, you're like, oh, wow, wait a minute. What do you mean? But when you start to touch it and shift your attention towards it, then you start to taste it, because you begin to taste the freedom.
Yeah.
You know, you begin to taste the freedom. You begin to get a glimpse of it, of, oh my God, wow. But in order to get to that point, it requires a season. You have to be seasoned to get to that point. You have to come to certain maturity in your spiritual path.
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that? Is that the Advaita teaching, the non-dualism teaching, is not for everybody. It's the final step into the awakening. It's the very last step. So you have to go through all these other steps in order to get there. And it's like you're going up the mountain to get to the top of Himalaya. And you're hiking and climbing to get to the very top of the mountain. In the base of the mountain, there's hundreds of thousands of people. You know, there are people having coffee shops, there are people having workshops, people doing yoga, people are selling crystals, there's people selling malas, there are people selling ropes, There are devices, you know, there's all kinds of things at the base of the mountain. Then you put your gear together, you put your group together, and you start to be hiking, going uphill. And as you're just going uphill, maybe you get to the next plateau, and there's some people say, you know, I've come pretty high. You know, I want to just settle down here, you know, with my partner and open up a coffee shop that when people are hiking up, they can have their coffee or they can get a massage or whatever. I don't need to go any higher. And then, you know, you keep going higher in this mountain of consciousness. And, you know, you get to another level and someone says, you know what? My knees are hurting and my back is hurting. I've come up pretty high. You know, it's getting cold. You know, it's not comfortable. I still want to have a bed. You know, I'm just going to stay here and provide a service. And then, you know, you keep, because it gets tougher and tougher as you're going higher to the very plateau of the peaks of consciousness. It gets tougher, and there's going to be less people. You're going to have less companions, and at the very, very peak, there is hardly anybody there. Very, very, very little people make it to the very top. You know, that's why there's one Buddha, there's one Ramana Maharshi, there's one Christ, and there's billions of people. Very few people make it to the very top because very few people are committed to get to the very top. The rest, they give up. They don't have the strength to make it. So you have to be very committed that you really want to make it. And the commitment is to detach yourself from the illusion and not to fall into believing that you're your senses, that you are your mind, that you're your emotions, that you are your body, that you are actually a person on this planet manifesting things. You're a person on this planet who has your own will to get to a place, because now you become a person, which the witness, it doesn't have any agendas. It's just a being. It doesn't give a shit. It's not trying to go anywhere or do anything. It simply is here. It doesn't have any agendas. So in order to recognize that and go back to that being, the purity, you have to stay committed to it and not fall into becoming something or someone. And not many people are willing to do that. Just 1 second.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Let me answer Mia's question and then I'll get back to you. Go ahead, Mia.
Yeah, so in regards to healing, or, you know, when you're working with...
Can you speak a bit louder? I can't hear you.
Yeah. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So in regards to healing, what are your... how do we apply this? Is it about raising the consciousness, or like making the individual aware, increasing the awareness? I don't know exactly which expression to use.
Yes.
Because we can use different modalities and to, to release emotions or whatever caused the cancer, for instance. But would you say that well, from what you're saying now, that it's about the consciousness and the awakening of the individual to see him or herself more as one's higher self and not the object or the person.
Right. So what is the question?
Yeah, well, I was just wondering about that, because when you are performing healing, when you are doing the quantum healing, what are you doing then?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is that at no point for me there is any identification with me doing any kind of healing on anyone.
Yeah.
I go through my motions, but I'm not the one who is performing it. So I'm still the witness to what is happening with this guy. Zarathustra is doing some work. Of course, motion is happening, action is happening. Now, you can be identified to it and think and believe that you're the one who is healing someone, or you can be in this position back here that you're just pure witness to an action which is happening.
Right.
You know, they're two complete different things.
Yeah. Yes.
And in the number two, where you're just complete witness, then existence is doing what it wants to do. Existence is performing healing, and you're not involved in it. Yet your body is in it. There's the appearance. It looks like you're doing it, but you're not involved in it.
And the receiver is, well, the one allowing it to actually unfold, maybe.
Well, it's the same thing for the receiver, whether they have the awareness to it or not. They may be aware of this, or they may not be aware of it. But it doesn't really matter. It's that you know your place. You know where you're standing. And then the entire existence is operating through you. Okay?
Yeah. So the healing is when, well, it doesn't have to be conscious then. I'm not talking about me as the facilitator, but I'm talking about the receiver, the person who might be actually in need of some sort of healing because of some sort of imbalance. But more than what I'm doing or the person is doing, is it about the consciousness?
Well, all of it is happening in consciousness. It's all a part of the phenomena, you know? So it is the phenomena of life that there is an appearance, there are forms here, appear to be real, and one is sick, and one is helping it and healing it. So it's a part of the dance that it plays with itself.
Thank you.
Yeah, but for your role as the seeker or as a conscious being is in order to be free from all of it. Because still that healing that is happening, it's objects. Objects are healing objects.
Yeah.
And if you really believe that you're the object, you're still stuck in the lila, in the maya, because you're not free. But if you realize that you're not the object and you're simply the witness of the whole thing, then there is no attachments to it.
And the way I see it, that's what you're doing. You're helping us just let go of all of that, thinking.
Ideas.
Something, yes, to
Exactly.
heal.
To free yourself from all ideas and concepts.
Yes. So that is the healing if we need a healing.
Exactly. Yeah. To come back into this state of purity.
Yes.
The pure consciousness, which is here, the witness is here and is aware, but is not identified with anything. It's simply here witnessing movements happening in front of it, but it's not identified to it. And that's your pure state. And it's free.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah, because it doesn't suffer.
Yes. And I did what you just said. I had a total meltdown yesterday. I'm in and out of it. And it's so liberating when you come back to that thing.
Yes. I'm very happy to hear that. Because you also see for that, you don't really need to do anything.
Yes.
It has no requirements.
That's so beautiful because it is just presence. It is just being. I don't know what to call it. Consciousness, maybe. And just resting in that river.
It's liberation.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Karen.
Hi. I feel that I jump between this feeling freedom and joy and happiness, right? And real bliss. And then I swing to this anxiety is really visiting me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get worried, this, right?
Okay.
And everything feels like a dream, right? My life, it feels like a dream.
Okay.
And I don't know what is happening.
Right.
I don't know what's happening.
Right. You just stay in this place of I don't know. You don't make anything out of it. You just stay in this place. You don't need to know. And of course, for the mind is really a big shock because the mind wants to figure out, because the mind wants to control.
Yes, but and also, I have a son, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that just an illusion too, or what?
No, yeah, look, I mean, your son, as illusory as you are and as the world, but in the relative reality, all of it is your reality, and you're in it. So we can't just say, I can't say my mom doesn't exist. I attend to my mom all the time. I call her, I go see her, I give her love. I can't say she doesn't exist. So it doesn't feel right for me to say, okay, it's all an illusion and my mom doesn't exist, and forget her and I'm not going to see her anymore. Something much bigger than me pulls me to her and to be attentive to her. So, but who is seeing it? By whom this is being witnessed? There's an awareness here, okay, that you are aware of this situation. You are witnessing, you're seeing everything you're asking me. There's an awareness, there's a mechanism that is aware of the mood swings, right? Something is seeing you. You just said it, that sometimes I'm here, it's great, da 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 da, and then it shifts and I go into this other opposite of being worried or anxiety, correct? So who is seeing this state, and then it shifts, and who is seeing this state?
Yeah, it's me, right?
Right. Something in the back is observing both of them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something is not involved in either ones and is perfectly capable of watching both. You bring your attention to that one.
Yeah, but there's so many things happening. So many things happening. And what should I do? Should I just stay in the now?
You just deal with it in the moment according to what needs to be done. Just like everything else in life. You just do what you have to do. You have to make food for your son. You have to put your son to bed. You have to take him to school. You have to.
He don't want to go to school.
Well, whatever is the story.
Yeah.
You just do what you have to do, whatever is going on. You know, I still have to get up in the morning. I come to work. I have bills to pay. I have my employees to take care of. I got obligations with you guys. I still do what I have to do. I go through my motions of life. But all the time, the witness is witnessing. Camila, you wanted to ask a question? Your question's answered?
Well, it's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. And
Reza's one.
yeah, Reza. Okay, let's answer Reza's question. And can you do we? Yes.
I think that my question was very long and there was some typo. So let me just get to the point.
Okay.
In the last few weeks, okay, do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. In the last few weeks, there have been there are some feedback. In the last few weeks, there have been many questions about free will, choices, and if our life is predetermined. So I think that's a very valid question. People, they ask themselves that if my life is predetermined, so why should I bother myself to change it, try to change it?
Okay.
And if it is
Oh,
not,
hold on, let me answer that part. Let me go
let me bring the whole thing, and
Okay.
I think that you can.
Okay.
So if it is predetermined, then why should I try to change it? And if it is not predetermined, then I must have some kind of ability to choose and have a free will. Also, I remember that in one of the you answered to one of the questions that free will is a hoax, and also in your book you have mentioned that free will is an illusion. So I agree with you that in the absolute reality, where there is no duality, there are no opposites, free will doesn't mean anything because it's all oneness and existence is all that is. But that is when our consciousness resonates in fifth dimension. However, the existence has blessed us with this body and creation to experience this world, and which is in fact God is experiencing herself through us since we are the individuation of God. So that is in the context of third dimension. Uh, the life
is this your short version?
No, I'm just trying to say that
this is your short version of the other question.
No, I didn't say the short version. I said that, let me get to the point, actually. So if you want to answer me that that in the absolute reality there is no free will, I agree with that one. We don't have to repeat that. But what I'm trying to ask you that we are in this material world. The life is like a painting canvas. So it includes all the possibilities of our life activities there. So at any time, while I can be a scientist, I can be a terrorist. While I can be a realist, I can be a fictionist. While I'm a spiritualist, I can be a materialist. So there should be a way for me to choose between different paths. I'm not saying which one is good or which one is bad, because if there is no choice for me, then why do I have to blame someone for making a crime? Why do I have to blame Hitler for Holocaust? So I mean that in this world, in the third dimension, God has given me this ability as a free will to choose the best way that resonates for me. That's all I wanted just to bring up. It was not really my question. It is just the way that I understand it. So please tell me that where do I make where I'm thinking wrong.
When I say that there is no free will, then you don't have a choice in being a good person or a bad person. So the way you are, as you don't have a free will, you can't be anything else. Whatever you do, it's out of your control. So you can't just stay home and not do anything because it's not your choice. You can't not attend to your children and ignore them completely because that's not your choice either. There is this sense and this power that moves you to be a responsible dad and a loving dad. That power, that sense, where does it come from? And why you have that power and that sense of being a responsible father, and someone similar in your similar situation doesn't. What differentiates the two from one another? So when I speak about not having free will, that doesn't mean you're going to be living your life irresponsibly and you're going to murder people, or you're going to rape people, or you're going to steal from people. I mean, there are people who are doing it, but you're not doing it because it's your destiny to be the way you are, and it's their destiny to be the way they are. They can't be you, and you can't be them. These are the...
Okay, you said that that's my destiny and their destiny.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to ask you that they can also change their destiny.
No, because we said there is no free will. So they can't change their destiny on their own free will unless existence wants to change their destiny. Yeah, there have been people who've been bad and something has happened and they've transformed and they become really good people. But that's also a part of their destiny. It's not out of their free will. It's not that they chose that. It appears, choice is an appearance. It's another object. It appears to be real, just like everything else. Your thoughts, your mind, your senses, they appear to be very real. They're very real. If I stick a knife in your shoulder, you're really going to feel it. It's very real. It hurts. And the same thing as our choices. They appear to be very, very real with consequences. But none of them are really you. The only thing which is really you is the witness, the pure presence, not what the object does. The object may be a saint. This object may be a healer. This object could be a drug addict. This object could be a good father. The object may be doing whatever it's doing. It does according to its destiny. The awareness, the witness, has nothing to do with the object. And that's where the freedom is. Because the witness in the back, it has no attachment to good or bad or morality. It's just pure presence. It's purely aware. But it has no agenda. Pure awareness. In this place that you are, that you're here, and you can connect to it, and you can recognize it at any moment. If you know what to look for, with the right guidance, with the right teaching, the right guidance and the right teaching. And that teaching is to pointing out to you to bring your attention to the witness. And what is the witness? It's simply here. Even the thought that I'm the witness and I should be the witness is still false. If you're thinking, and that's an intellectual thing, you're thinking that I'm the witness, I should be the witness, you are identified with the world of the thoughts. The real witness, there is no thoughts. It's not even trying to do anything. It's simply here. It's not thinking to itself that I should be here, I should be the witness, I am witnessing. No, it's simply here. Without trying to accomplish anything. And any moment you go back to this place, you just see that it's very quiet, it's very still, and it's completely free. At any moment, any second, anywhere in the world you are, any condition you're in, it doesn't matter. You could be tortured. You could be actually in a torture chamber. It does not matter where you are, what is going on with you, what is your financial situation, what is your marital status, what is your state of mind or emotions or anything. It doesn't matter. Because this is the background. And it's always here. Always. You look for that. You bring your attention to that. And once you touch it and recognize it, you are free. You become free forever. Not free for a short period of time. Because this is not a feeling. You've been hypnotized all of your life by a lot of spiritual teachers and spiritual teachings. And you don't have a clue because you're searching for feelings. This is not a feeling of feeling good and feeling high. Don't make a mistake. This is not a state, you know, high state or a low state. This is the place which is pure being. And you are that. You are that place. And the more your attention goes in that direction, and the more you get a glimpse of it and touch it, the more you realize that you're completely free. Because all the stories of your past, I was this and this happened to me and my daddy did this to me and my partner left me and I'm a screw up and I got raped and I am disadvantaged, or all of these stories, they're thoughts. They're a story being told about someone, a person who's identified to the body, to the mind, to the emotions. It's a person. The story happened to this person. Poor person. Poor me. It happened to me. But the presence, the witness, it has nothing to do with it. It's simply here and pure. It's never been touched. And that's who you are. You've never been touched.
Yeah, Kamala put a question that's really interesting. Is it experience, God experiencing life through you as you, and maybe also me experiencing God through me as me?
Okay, God experiencing life through you as you. Yes, God is experiencing life through you. That's exactly what it is.
Yay,
That's me.
Mia Kamla gets A+.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Mia. God is experiencing life through you all the time. God is experiencing life through every object, including Hitler. God is experiencing life through Hitler. God is experiencing life through Jesus, or through Mother Teresa, or through a crippled child being born in Ethiopia. Or any of you have physical disadvantages, or you have children who were born. What did they do? Is that their choice to be born disabled? When did you choose that before you were born? You're making a decision that I'm going to be born disabled in this life, and that's your choice, or it just happens. Who knows? So God is living and experiencing life through these objects. And in the realization, once you realize that, then you're free. Because there is no more this thing of poor me or why me, or the story goes away. You realize the story is not real. Because you're not the story. You have freed yourself from the story. So your physical disadvantage actually, in so many cases, becomes a major tool to your awakening. It helps you advance because of that. Because now there is not so much identification with your body. You have turned the poison into medicine. That you've been able to go beyond into identifying with the pure witness. And you have freed yourself. And that's where the freedom is. Yeah. That's where the freedom is. Otherwise, you stay into the Maya. You stay into this illusion. Why is life like this? Why is this happening? Why all this pollution? Why Donald Trump? Why they're slaughtering the animals? Why they're cutting the forest? You are completely all the time involved in the Maya, and you suffer. You keep suffering. And you have done that for millions of years, lifetime after lifetime. And now this is your opportunity to free yourself from the will. But you have to be attentive to it. You're going to want to do it. And not fall back into becoming someone, a person again. Stay in this place. Stay quiet. Stay in the witness, which there's no thoughts. And that is your path to freedom. Okay. All right, my beautiful friends, it's 11:30 California time. So it's very nice to see you as always. Again, quick announcement. My next event is on 23rd of June. I have a 2-hour event at mass meditation. What is the name of the event, Shishi?
Disclosure Fest.
Disclosure Fest, and that's going to be downtown Los Angeles, and the address and all the information is on my website. My website is zarathustra.tv, and you're welcome to check it out. And the next event after that is going to be in Åre, Sweden. That we still have about a few spots left for those of you who feel like joining me for a 10-night and 11-day of fifth dimensional quantum healing and awareness. I will be teaching all 5 levels, including the last level, which is the mastery. And mastery is going to be about what we're talking about here, and many, many other things that I'm going to be teaching you and transmitting to you. But we're going to be doing light code activations, and I will be taking you through initiations and helping you to come to this space. So if you have the means and you can join me, I highly recommend to come to Åre, because I will have you in this unified field, in this container of high vibrational frequency for 11 days. So you can't escape me. And we're all
And just so you know, Zarathustra, Mia Kamla is pregnant, she announced on here.
Oh, yeah? Yeah?
That's why she can't go to Åre.
Okay.
She's going to have a baby.
Otherwise, I'll be in order. I really want to.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I thought she looked extra pretty this week.
Yeah, she said, did you hear what she said?
No.
Say it again.
I thought you looked extra beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Well, right here.
Oh, congratulations. Right on.
Come on the full moon in July. So I'll want.
And she's a wonderful singer. She sings so beautifully. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Hi, Christina. How you doing?
Hi.
Yeah, I can see you've been enjoying the Swedish sun.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's very warm.
It's very warm. Okay. Well,
Yes, it is very nice. It hasn't been such a nice weather in, I think, in 2 years or something.
well, I'm happy for you guys, because the heat came to you and the cold came to us.
Yeah. It's rare.
Yeah, it's rare. So.
It's like 25, between 25 and 30 degrees.
And sunny every day.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, it's 33.5.
Fantastic.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's, I tell my people here, because, people don't understand if they haven't been in Scandinavia. I tell them that sunshine and warmth in Scandinavia is something different than sunshine and warmth here in California. There's another energy to it. There's something about it when you're in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, or anywhere in Scandinavia, and it's sunny and it's warm. There's this energy that I don't experience it here. So cool. All right. Well, good to see you all. And our next academy is going to be on Tuesday. Tuesday is what? Is it on the 4th of the 5th?
June 5th.
June 5th. Okay, same time. And I look forward to seeing you all. Much love. Okay. Bye-bye.